This week in U.S. immigration news, we are going to cover consular services fees increasing, Supreme Court scrutinizes free speech limits of immigration law, lawsuit against detention center claims sickened ICE detainees with hazardous chemicals, deadly Mexican migrant center fire, Republicans blame U.S. fentanyl deaths on migrants. Here is another reason to apply soon. Department of State's final rule raising most non-immigrant visa application processing fees and the fee for a border crossing card for Mexican citizens age 15 and over. The rule is effective May 30, 2023. The fee changes implemented by the rule are: the application processing fee for non-petition-based NIVs, except E category, will be raised from $160 to $185. The application processing fee for H, L, O, P, Q, and our category NIVs will be raised from $190 to $205. The fee for E category NIVs will be raised from $205 to $315. The processing fee for border crossing cards for Mexican citizens age 15 and over will be raised from $160 to $185. The fee for the exchange visitor waiver of 2-year residency requirement will be maintained at $120. The Supreme Court debated during oral arguments Monday whether a criminal law meant to punish those who encourage illegal immigration could allow the government to punish anyone who helps undocumented immigrants. A lower court had struck down a federal law that makes it a felony for someone who encourages or induces a person to violate federal immigration law, ruling that it infringed on the free speech protections of the First Amendment. The U.S. appealed that ruling to defend the law, and justices are expected to issue a decision in the case before the conclusion of the term at the end of June. Justice Brett M. Kavanaugh pointed out Monday that it is a pretty common part of conversations for people to discuss how an undocumented immigrant could remain in the country. Kavanaugh questioned whether a casual conversation about a topic such as that could violate the federal law, which carries a potential 5-year prison term. Hansen argued in an appeal that the law should be thrown out because it would let the government prosecute speech about immigration that is otherwise protected by the First Amendment. A 3-judge panel of the appeals court decided in Hansen's favor, finding the law overbroad and unconstitutional. A new lawsuit filed against one of the nation's largest for-profit prison operators, Geo Group Incorporated, alleges the company improperly used toxic chemicals to clean its detention centers, causing inmates to get sick. They allege that due to the detainees' months-long, near-constant exposure to this chemical from February 2020 to April 2021, they suffered symptoms like persistent cough, throat and nasal irritation, skin irritation, rashes and headaches. Plaintiffs say they found blood in their mouths and saliva, suffered from debilitating headaches, felt dizzy and lightheaded, and now deal with long-term chronic health issues as a result of their exposure to the chemical. Last Monday night, there was a deadly fire blaze that killed at least 38 people with dozens more in serious condition. It became the site of the worst tragedy to occur at a migrant detention center in Juarez. There should be a safe, humane and orderly process for migrants, something both the U.S. and Mexico have claimed to committed to in several national and international agreements. The House of Representatives shifted a congressional oversight hearing of the border, with GOP lawmakers attempting to link the fentanyl crisis to migration. What we have failed repeatedly to do in our country is talk about the demand for these drugs. And the focus has always been on the supply. And I really wish my colleagues would be as passionate about addressing addiction and the demand for illegal substances as they are passionate about the supply of them. Stated by Democrat Representative Veronica Escobar, who represents an El Paso district along the border. She continues to state we're never going to get past our substance abuse issues as a country until we deal with both ends. And until we talk about this in an honest way. The drug killed some 70,000 Americans last year, part of a growing trend of synthetic opioids that now account for more than 3/4 of all overdose deaths. A review of sentencing records from the Cato Institute found that last year, 86% of those convicted of trafficking fentanyl were U.S. citizens, while 9% of those who brought fentanyl into the country were foreigners with no legal status in the U.S. despite arresting over 700,000 illegal entrants so far this year. Less than 1% of CBP's fentanyl seizures have come from people carrying it across the border illegally. David Beer, the group's associate director of immigration studies, told lawmakers last month, maybe it's right to investigate the scourge of fentanyl deaths. But immigrants are not the cause.
Friends, show us some love and smash the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have an immigration problem or need a second opinion because you cannot get a hold of your own lawyer, schedule a meeting with our team. Share information with our CARES team and they will help you get scheduled with our legal team. Now here's a secret code to unlock the free 15 minutes.